Welcome to the Tony the Prophet channel for week 6. We had a great week 5. We went 4-0 on our best bets. We had Broncos plus 4.5, check. Outright winner against the Eagles. We had the Colts -7, check, covered. Lions -10.5, check, covered. And then we had the Pats plus 7.5, outright winner against the Bills in the big Sunday night game, check. So we move on to this week. Basically, the first few weeks of the season is like the preseason. It takes 4 weeks or so, the month of September, to get the trends and see what's going on. These starters don't play. You get a lot of up and down games, teams that shouldn't win, that do, like Tennessee, and the other teams that should blow out a team don't. So anyways, hopefully things settle down, and here are the picks for this week. I like the Rams -7 against Baltimore. I mean, basically, the Rams lost 2 games on the last play. They could be 5-0. McVay screwed up. You have Stafford, who threw for 378 yards against the 49ers last week, and on first down and goal, he gives it to Kyron Williams, and he fumbles. Game over. All they had to do was spread him out, 11 personnel. Who's going to stop him? They couldn't stop him all night. You throw 3 times, 4 times, and you win the game. And then maybe, so whatever. So now to get the hapless Ravens, Lamar is out, Roquan Smith is out, Emory Jones tackle is out, and Aruzier, the corner, is out. And Houston, who hasn't been the greatest team this year, smoked them last week. I think it was like 42-10. And why can't the Rams do the same? Baltimore defense is just horrific. Points allowed, 32nd, 35.4 points allowed per game. Passing yards, 31st, 262 yards a game. Rush yards, 29th, 146 yards a game. And time on the field, 30 the defense, 31st. 34 minutes a game, the defense is on the field. And the number of plays, dead last. The defense is on for 70 plays a game. They get tired. They get beat up. So, Rams, 10-3 against the spread the last 13. Baltimore, 1-5 against the spread the last 6. So, we got the spread data in our favor. I'm actually in one of my leads. I'm playing Stafford over Hurts because I think he's going to go crazy again. And, Stafford, 300+ yards. Puka does well. Adams does well. Don't be surprised if Tutu gets a long bomb at some point late in the game. And Blake Corum, when they're sick of running Williams in the fourth quarter, they put him in. He may get a touchdown. So I have this Rams 38-13. It'd be in that area, 35-16, 41, whatever. So check. That's game 1. And game 2, we're going back to Indy. I love Indy. Arizona is in free fall. DeMarcado throws the ball away before he gets over the goal line. I don't blame the coach for going ballistic on him. I would have done the same thing, and they find a guy. Basically cost them the game. At that point, they would have been up 28-6. Tennessee truly needed a miracle, and they got it in this game. It was just unbelievable. It's the most improbable fumble play that I've seen since the Holy Roller in 1978 that changed the rules when the Raiders Stabler beat the Rams, and from that day forward you couldn't kick a ball ahead to score. And your prophet was watching that game. I believe it was the 4:00 game on NBC. But giving you a little history lesson here. In contrast, Indy's been rolling. They're 4-1, 4-1 straight up and against the spread, 3-0 at home. And then the other thing about the Cardinals is that I believe I had it here. They lost like the 4 games by 2.25 points. So they're giving it up late in the games. Kyler's not making it happen. And ever since Connor went out, they haven't been the same team. So Drew Petzing, their offensive coordinator, maybe he needs to be fired. Maybe they need to get somebody else because with the talent they have on that team, McBride and Harrison and some of the others, it's just not happening. So I have it Indy 35-17, about in that area. So we'll take it. And third game I like. You got my copious notes here. What page is that on? It's on here. I'm taking San Francisco plus 3.5. It moved in the last day to the hook. I'm taking the hook. I like it with the hook. The Bucks play with fire. Okay, they've won. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the notes wrong. The Cardinals. I take that back. It was the Bucks won 4 games by a total of 2.25 points. Okay, a game. So to coming down to the last play, getting a miracle field goal. How many times can you go to the well and hope that will happen? Okay. The Bucks have their corners out. McCollum's out, and Benjamin Morrison is out. So you saw Mac Jones go crazy against the Rams. It's not a bad defense. He had well over 300 yards. And it doesn't matter if Pearsall's out. I have him in 2 leagues. I think Jennings is going to play. They have Bourne. They have CMC. They're going to run him 20 times and run him into the ground to get the offense. And you have a lineup here where San Francisco's 3-2 against the spread, but they're 3-0 on the road. And you have the total opposite with Tampa Bay. They're also 3-2 against the spread, but they're 0-2 at home. And this is a trend from last year for both these teams. These teams played better. Conversely, one on the road and one at home played worse at home. That trend continued from last year. So we're on top of that. And I think San Francisco can throw enough with Jones. I think it'd be a lot of points. This game should go over. Both teams can score. Tampa Bay can't stop anybody. They gave up 341 yards last week in their game with Seattle. There was a total shootout. Last man with the ball wins. Seattle gave the game away at the end. So I have it San Francisco 31-30. It could be Tampa Bay 28-27. 27-26. 30-27, something like that. But you got the hook. You got the hook, and that's all you need. I think San Francisco will win outright, but if they don't, play the money line. The Frisco money line is plus 154 on DraftKings. That's the best one I've seen. So if you got some guts, play the money line, and maybe you'll make a few bucks. And the last game I'm taking Washington minus 4.5. As long as Daniels is back, Washington is in play. Chicago is a horrendous road team. They're 2-10 straight up on the road. Dan Quinn finally figured out there's mental genius over there that Jaworski Crosby Merritt, otherwise known as Bill, is the real deal, and you should play him and not Gonzalez and these other stiffs he has right there, the third down back there. Okay, you're gonna. McLaurin's out. You're going to get a big game from Debo. And Chicago defense, especially on the road, is not good, okay? And no bueno, as they say. 28th in points allowed with 29.25. 31st in rushing yards allowed, 165 yards a game. Does that say a big game for Bill? Yes, I have him on one team. I wish I had him on more. I'm playing him, baby. 32nd in yards per play given up. It was 6. I can't see it here, but if I remember, it was like 6.3 yards a play, and that's the stat that the wise guys base a lot of stuff on. You got a team that doesn't play well on the road. Can they score some points? Sure. Washington, you can throw on Washington, so Odunze can probably do something, maybe more. But, Washington's going to score. They're the better team. They're home. They play better at home. Chicago plays horrible on the road. So I got it. Washington 31-20. Could be a little closer, 28-20, 27-21, something like that. But it doesn't matter. you're going to cover, and I like them. Now, looking at the other games that out there, I love Denver -7, and I would make it a top play, except they're playing in London. So, that makes it a little squirrely. Did I bet him? Yes. I bet him. Didn't go crazy, maybe 40, $50 on him at this point. I got it at 7. It was some 7.5 this week. It's down to 7. The much superior team, better defense, better coach. Jets are in free fall a little bit, 0-5, but quirky things happen, like what you saw with the Giants. So, I'm not making the best bet, but I like it. I also like Cincinnati plus 14.5. But again, not making it the best play. Wish they got Winston instead of Flacco, old man Flacco. He's better than the guy stiff they had. But, Green Bay, can you trust them? They play with their food. They give up 40 points to Dallas. Can't you think Chase and Higgins can do some damage with Flacco? He could throw the long ball. So, I think they cover by the hook and maybe by the hook only because Green Bay's the better team. But I bet Cincy, but I'm not making them a good pick. I like Detroit at 2.5. I think I put a small bet on them at 2.5, but I think I would buy the point at 3. Kansas City came on last week, and so you can. The one weakness on Detroit, you could throw against them. Worthy and Thornton, and then so they can hit them for some bombs, and then it's Detroit. Detroit Goff on the road. That's the only thing that worries me. And with the Spags defense, they can get after him. He folds a little under pressure, and but it's a big St. Brown game. Gibbs gets his. I don't know about Montgomery. I'm playing on one league. You have to. As long as he gets me 10 points, I'll be happy. And then Kansas City can't run, so they're going to throw the ball. So that was a game I liked. Vegas and Tennessee. How can you bet any of these teams? Just stay away from me. I like Buffalo, but, after last week, I'm not touching it. They're on the road. Atlanta plays better at home. It's 4.5. Could they win by a field goal? Maybe. I think they cover, but, again, we're not making it the best bet. Seattle and Jacksonville just stay away. Seattle's DBs, the 2 DBs are out. Jacksonville's coming off a high, so they're on a short week, so it's a disadvantage for them. And then, so both teams have something going bad against them. A lot of points in that one, just to stay away. Pittsburgh 8-0 off a bye, but it's a divisional game, kind of like what you saw with the Giants and Philly. Hate Pittsburgh as a favorite. I love him as a dog. Tomlin's the best dog coach ever. So it's some 6s. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you take Cleveland, but I thought they could cover. They covered for 59 minutes and 30 seconds in the London game last week, and they choked by half a point. So I'm not touching that game. And I think that's about it. And then the only other thing I'll say, people want to ask me about the Giants, since I've been a Giants fan since 1960 when I was 7 years old. We may have the real deal. Shane and Dable got their job saved. Dodd is the real deal. And Scatterbo, I only have him on one team. I wanted to get him on more. This kid is unbelievable. I saw him in the bowl game against Texas. He had like over 200 yards, and I said to him, and he was great at the combine, and I said to him, man, I got to get this guy on my team. But he brings so much energy. The 3 touchdowns. I have him on the one team. 31 points, baby. That's a win. Cha-ching in that fantasy game already. Okay, fantasy gods, don't strike me down and have somebody get hurt in that game. But anyways, so maybe you got some hope. They got a brutal schedule. Maybe they can do some wins. Maybe they don't need to grab a quarterback in a good quarterback draft next year if that didn't pan out. And, the defense, they can get the pass rush. So that's about it. Good week last week. We're looking for a good week this week, and we'll see you next week.